It's Monday, and you're starting your week. You're starting your week on a Monday, and we got some old news apparently already from Monday because this thing came out last week. But we're talking about today, so eat it. It's a great way to address the audience. I'm going to be talking about Ben Affleck potentially coming back, and I guess he is, from what it is confirmed, whatnot, as Batman in the Aquaman sequel. So we'll talk about that. That's pulling a lot of the headlines. At least when we're recording this on Friday, it is. Will Smith issued a real apology to Chris Rock about the slap at the Oscars. So get into that and what that means going forward for his career. And it seemed pretty damn genuine to me, but we'll talk about it. The movie, the animated superhero farts running around the place, which I enjoyed. That's at this point we'll know what it made, but it's supposed to make like $25 million opening weekend. Good, bad. Whatevs. The hell else are we talking about today? Creed. We're pushed back till March. That report came out on like Thursday or something, but I'll tell you, I follow a site called Box Office. Not Box Office. It's The Numbers is the name of the site, and you can go to like upcoming releases. I've been checking it for like 10 years. They had this shit moving to March like 2 months ago, so I don't know who the hell they know. Maybe it was Michael B. Jordan updating it on the site. I have no idea, but either way. And then speaking of Creed, Drago is apparently getting a spinoff series. Now, what the hell does that mean, though? Because in all this drama going on with Stallone, is he involved in this at all? And if he's not, do we want anything to do with it? And speaking of having nothing to do with it, Tomb Raider, the rights have reverted back to other peeps, and now there's a studio war for it. Anyway, so that's what we got going on today. Lots of energy coming from me. What else we got going on? Subscribe. Look at that.
Hey.
You like that? You like that guy? That's Brett Sheridan. I had to put him in there because everybody wanted him in there. So the road to 70,000 subscribers. If we can get there, help us get there. We're going to try to do a live tour. So it's going to be a lot of fun. That, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. Help us out. That's how we get to that road. And we keep on getting people. I got some big announcements coming. I can't talk about it just yet, but it's be coming soon. And as soon as I can announce it, I will. All right, let's get to it. It's the big thing. It's me. It's Brett. Let's do it. Happy Monday, everyone. I hope you're doing good. I hope the world is treating you nice. Just a programming note. Today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, probably until like next Monday, we're going to be doing pre-taped StreamYard shows. I know it's not the best, but I got to do it for the time being, but then we'll be back in studio after that. So, however, today is not a StreamYard. I got this guy.
Hey.
Yay. What you doing, buddy? Uh-oh, what do you got?
I was giggling to myself and could barely hold it in when you said slap at the Oscars. That's just kind of a, like, hey, he was in there having a little slap at the Oscars.
Question, did you get a little slappy at the Oscars? What did you do? You get a little slappy? A little slapey?
Kids in there all day having a slap at the Oscars, you know.
It's the newest thing, man. What are you doing? Oh, I was getting a little slapy. A little slapy on my papy. A little slapy on my papy. What are you doing? Little slapes on the papes.
Slapes on the papes.
Anyway, well, we can open with that.
Yeah.
Big
news.
Well, Brett came in here. He said, "You see, Will Smith apologized for the little slapey." And I said, "Didn't he do that already?" And he said, "I guess not official." He was on some live stream or something, and they asked him about it. They said, "Why didn't you apologize?" or whatever it was. And he said he reached out to Chris Rock, and that Chris Rock's people were like, Chris ain't ready to talk to you yet, buddy. So until he is, then he's going to reach out, which I'll tell you, from what I saw and what I heard,
yeah.
And he's also a great actor, but it seemed pretty genuine. And then he even said, he goes, "Look, I was buddies with Tony Rock. That was my boy.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem like there's any coming back from this." Yeah, because you slapped his brother in front of millions of people.
A little bit.
But I like that he owned it.
Yeah.
I do like that he owned it. And I think that we are a bunch of people who will condemn people right away. But I think there are a lot of us who are pretty forgiving if it's genuine. This seemed genuine to me. I always said when it started, and we didn't talk about this much in the show when it went down because I just didn't want to get into all of it. But like, I stand by the fact, and he does too now when you listen to him, Shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Definitely shouldn't have happened. But he's not owning it. He's not, excuse me. He is owning it. He's not saying, absolutely, that's what I should have done, and I stand by it. He's like, no, I shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Stupid. There's things I got to repair it. And he apologized to Chris's mother after seeing an interview. So, and I even said it when this all was going down. I go, I like Will Smith. I do, but this was a bad move.
Yeah.
And now, I liked his apology. I'm sure there's going to be some people going, oh, you shouldn't have backed down from me. You shouldn't, because I didn't understand when people were saying that was something you should have done. I never thought that is something you should have done. He doesn't think he should have done it, and I thought the way that he did it and handled himself, he handled it like a man. Granted, it might have been a couple months later, whatever it might be, but he did. And I think that, and look, I guess the argument could also be he lost millions of dollars because of it. He lost movies because of it. He lost, and that's true. You reap what you sow. People
have opinions, I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
I like you said. When you said, but he's an actor, I was like, oh, yeah, he could really seem very genuine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but also, I like what, he didn't go, I did it, but here's the reason I did it. No, he just said flat out, shouldn't have done it.
Shouldn't have done it.
Uncalled for.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to, and he said, I didn't realize all the people that I heard at the moment. I wasn't thinking, I was in a fog. And and again, he won the Oscar for a reason.
Yeah.
But it felt very genuine to me, and it felt like I said, look, you can be in a position where things are going wrong and all this stuff happened, and he acted in a way that was just one of the biggest oopses of all time. But and it really is up to Chris Rock I don't think anybody can tell Chris Rock that you have to accept his apology. If Chris Rock doesn't want to ever accept his apology, he doesn't have to. He got slapped in front of millions of people and became like, and I think Chris Rock to this day handled it very well.
Yeah.
Classy. So, but good for Will Smith that he went out there and did it. I think that he probably said, yeah, that's a question that's going to come in. I want to address it, as he should have.
I wonder what like Chris Rock is, like his willingness to talk to him, like why right now he's not like give me a or will he talk to him?
I don't know, man. I mean, like maybe that's part of the reason too. Think about it. Like if someone did that and maybe like immediately after, if Will wanted to get in touch with them or even right afterwards, or maybe that would have been a little bit better. Maybe I don't know what Chris Rock
he's
is
like little too late.
Maybe Maybe he's also just like maybe wrote him off for a bit. Maybe saw him and it's just like, okay, I don't know what their relationship was prior. I don't know what it is in general. I mean, I don't know. But maybe it's one of those things where he's just like, screw that guy.
Yeah.
I just don't want anything to do with him. Like, I don't care what he's. Maybe he doesn't find it genuine.
Yeah.
What do we know about it? But I don't think that anyone should tell him, oh, well, Will Smith apologized. You got to accept. He doesn't have to apologize. He doesn't have to accept shit.
Yeah.
I think it's good on Will Smith that he did it. I think it was good on Will Smith that he was able to address it, do his thing, and whatever. And it very well and it probably is a part of the fact that like I messed up a lot of my shit that I have going on in my life.
Yeah. And that's what people, I think the knee-jerk reaction is going to be like, yeah, of course he is, because he's, he has to work again. And
but that doesn't mean that doesn't generate a genuine response of what he feels bad about. It's like, because look at what my actions did. It took all this away from me. This sucks. How did I get myself into this position? And you reevaluate it and you go, because I was wrong. I shouldn't have done it. And that's why I lost all this shit. And if I want to get it back, the first thing I have to do is address what I did. And I think that that's fair. And I think that's of course, like when you get into a position like that, you're looking at yourself and you're going, well, I lost all this shit. How do I get it back? Well, you got to make amends.
I doubt he went home. I don't know. Again, don't know. Yeah. But I doubt he went home and goes, that was great. That was a great thing I just did. He
looked off from that whole night. He looked off. And then when you see him in other videos, when he just, I don't know. Either way, look, I don't think that what he did was, I don't condone it at all. But I will say that I respect him for going out there saying what he did. He apologized, knows that there's probably some actions that ain't nobody going to come back from, because this ain't a public. If it was like a private thing that happened in a room somewhere and he slapped Chris and then he said to him and his brother was there and he's like, dude, but to do it at the Oscars in front of all those people, like it's hard to come back from in general. But and he owned it, so good on him. Let's talk about farts.
Yeah. I'm a little slap.
Yeah, we need some farts in this place, right? Thank you. Ooh. I mean, what is that? Do you think that's real? How did you make that effect? Is that like a real one? You think somebody's actually putting one to the can? That sounded real.
Yeah.
So
Or is it a balloon?
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be a balloon like that. But that sounded like one that popped out.
What if you were like a professional farter for
There's
these?
tons of them.
Great.
My
Great.
4-year-old's on her way. Did I tell you that what she did? The bubble one is the one I guess. She just walked into the room. Did I tell you this? Like, so I don't know what the hell we had, but the oldest let out a little one. And she's like, "Oh, sorry," right? My wife was not in the best moods. And she goes, "Come on!" She's like doing laundry, and so she's the three of us, my 2 daughters and me, are standing in the kitchen. My wife's doing the laundry or whatever, and you just hear, and my wife goes, "Who was that?" And the 4-year-old raises her hand and goes, "That's me."
They're so proud of them at that age. It's
So proud of her. She's just like, and then I said to her, because she had let one out on one of our walks, I'm like, "Come on, you can't do this at school. You know that." She's like, "Oh, no." She's like, "Go in the corner." Yeah. she goes like, "Go in the corner and don't let anybody see it." And she just goes a sign. She goes, "I gotta let it out."
Yeah.
She's like, other kids doing farts. Yeah. And I was like, "Yeah, other kids are doing farts. It's true." She's like, "But I don't let them hear it. Those are saved for us."
Yeah.
Those are saved for us.
The kids at school were allowed, because it was like kids would laugh and stuff, but you were allowed to go outside. They'd say, "Well, if you need to do that, you can go outside."
Step to the side.
Yeah, you can go outside and have a little fart.
No, it's sometimes with the little one, it's like a military experiment.
I get
Bombs
in
going
trouble
off.
for like I sit on the couch and I let one go, but you know, Lonnie's like, "Why didn't you go to the other room?" I'm like, I may have gotten up and it was ready to.
It sometimes just
you
pops
got to
out.
pull that
Yeah,
trigger when you can. Like,
So I fart in anger sometimes. Like, so if like to me, like if it's too much and it's an argument that I don't want to do, I just let it go. I mean, that's what I think about this. That's the stamp. Oh yeah, you think? Oh really? You want to go over the garbage again? How about that?
How about that?
That's over now. It's my stamp. All right, let's move on. Creed, man. Creed. Okay.
Sponsored by Jersey Mike's.
Yeah, right. That's right. There you go, Jersey Mike's. So Creed, it's 2 stories about Creed this past week. The first is one that comes out, and our buddy Jeff Snyder. It's an exclusive Creed getting pushed back to March. We've been talking about it on this show that movie's being pushed back to March. Not taking anything away from Jeff. Because like I said, everybody started picking it up after he put it out there. But I saw on the Numbers website that I go to, and they pushed it because it was supposed to come out in November. And then I saw everyone else like, "Oh, bummer, it's pushed back." I was very prepared that it's coming out next year. And I wonder why, though, because were you on the show when we were talking about all the drama going on?
Yeah, that Stallone's not going to be a part of.
So Stallone's not going to be part of Creed 3. So it's like a little bit of this whole kind of drama going on with it. Like the first part of it is, so they asked Michael B. Jordan why Stallone wasn't in. He's like, "Well, we want to tell Adonis' story and we're moving forward." Okay. And maybe he and Stallone had that conversation and they agreed on it. Doesn't seem to be the case because Frank Stallone posted this whole thing on Instagram talking about how Michael B. Jordan kind of snaked Stallone out of it, Sly out of it, and again, this is coming from Frank Stallone, and saying that he was pushed out of it, and Sly never wanted anything to didn't want to be, he wanted to be a part of it, and was never asked to, and was kind of pushed out. So if Frank Stallone just yelling and screaming into the wind, people go, okay. But Sylvester Stallone liked that post.
That's right.
So that's when people went, wait a minute, what the hell's going on there? And then there comes the big drama. Irwin Winkler, who owned all the Rocky movies and worked with Sly, the producer of the original movies and Creed movies. Sylvester Stallone's posting stuff about Winkler, about how he was a snake and like fan art of him with a snake tongue coming out of his mouth.
Snake.
Yeah, slippery snake, and then he deleted the post afterwards too. But he's basically said, I want at least the majority of my rights back for my movies, and so that started to play into, well, is that what happened to Sly? But did Winkler want him out and talk to? Michael B. Jordan said, we don't want to put him in the next one. We don't need him anymore. Let's get him out. And he's in his head kind of like Rocky V. when what's his face?
Tony? What is it?
No. Freaking it was like George Washington Duke says to Tommy Morrison that he doesn't need
Tommy Morrison. Yeah,
he says he doesn't need Rocky anymore. And maybe that's what happened. Maybe Ern Winkler was George Washington Duke,
like,
and told Michael B. Jordan you didn't need Rocky anymore. So maybe that happened. I don't know. I mean, that's pure speculation. But either way, Sly's not a part of it. And then they pushed the movie back. That's part one. And now, part two, going right into that,
boom,
is this news of Drago getting his own spin-off series. Now, I would assume it's going to be his son, with Ivan Drago being the manager. The Creed 2 ends with the kind of a sweet moment of the two of them running in the street together, and father and son unite and understanding one another, and you kind of paint the younger Drago as more of a hero and what he's done, and it makes sense. Again, the question is, what, if any, does Sly have to do with this? If the answer is nothing, and he's not even going to appear in this, I don't know if Dolph Lundgren would do that, though. Yeah, they're really close.
I would think so. Yeah, I mean,
they're close.
Dolph looks pretty good too.
He does. I think though that if there was an issue here with that one, I think again, what the hell do we know about it? But I think if Stallone heard about this, hey, I don't know if you should be doing it. You know what I mean? I'll give you a story. When you do it, and then
I would break you.
Yeah, Dolph just fucking take Dolph. That's a smart dude. You know, you heard of, like he's like a rocket scientist.
Oh, I didn't know.
He's like a super smart dude, like a brilliant dude.
Which is funny because his character is just completely just.
But no, he's super smart dude. But what did he do? He also like thwarted a robbery in his house one time.
Really?
Yeah, he's a really interesting dude. Imagine trying to break into a house and you pull and it's Drago's house and he's there like just to beat your ass. That's not good. But
you're saying like he wouldn't fuck over his friend, basically. Like,
I just wonder. Well, if it's endorsed by Stallone, if Stallone says, "Look, go ahead and do it. I don't give a shit. You know, make some money for your family. Do what you have to do. I don't care. But you got to have that phone call.
Yeah, you
got to have that call. If Stallone's not part of it, if Stallone's not writing it or Stallone's directing it, or who knows, maybe Winkler wanted to get like, look, take that picture off of me as the snake. Can we talk, please? How about that Drago thing you wanted to do? Can we do that together? Now, again, I have no idea. Let me see what the actual story itself says. Let's read this story. This comes from Dark Horizons over here. Dark Horizons over there. Hey, you got any of that pea soup over there? All right. MGM plans Creed spinoff Drago. MGM is reportedly developing Drago, a spin-off of the Rocky and Creed franchise, with Robert Lawton having been hired to pen the script. Okay, so no Stallone there. Lawton penned the script Becoming Rocky about the making of the first film back in '76, which impressed MGM executives. While that project isn't moving forward, they have signed Lawson up for this. The film will build about a backstory about Russian boxer. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wow. Wait, hold on a second. The film will build out a backstory about Russian boxer Ivan Drago, played by Lundgren in '85, and again okay, wait. It's unclear if Lundgren or Florian Montu, who played Ivan's son Victor, will reprise their role. Okay, plot specifics under wraps. The news comes as Creed 2 is also delayed and will now open in March of next year.
Okay. So they're throwing up a picture of Dolph, but
yeah, they don't know what it is.
Be a part of it.
No. He's going to be a part of it. They just don't know if it's going to be about either him or his son, because Creed. Did you see Creed 2?
No.
All right, so Creed 2, it ends with it's all about his son fighting Adonis, and then they have this big fight. But at the end of it, they come to like an understanding. He turns out to be a good dude.
Yeah.
And Drago has been going through this whole thing. Ivan Drago has been going through this whole thing his whole life, because after he lost to Rocky, like his country pretty much just disowned him. His wife left him. Like he was a mess. But he forges this relationship with his son through this, and then it kind of ends that way. So the question is it going to end with Drago or is it going to this story? I actually think it makes more sense to do a continuation of Drago and his son, because what are you going to do otherwise? You're going to show him. He was an amateur boxer when he fought Apollo Creed.
Yeah.
So him coming up through the ranks, that's not very exciting. The aftermath of watching a young Drago in between, leading up to his son and trying to figure everything out and losing Matt, that's not very exciting. So I think you kind of have to go with the son. And the other thing I would love for them to do is do an Apollo movie. It's a thing that I always wanted to do before Creed was even announced, like just Apollo, and you do like him coming up through the ranks and winning the championship and the kind of parallel to Muhammad Ali and all that type of stuff. That would be interesting to me, but who knows? But I don't know. But it's interesting. It doesn't mention anything about Stallone.
Yeah,
at all. But we'll find out more. But I will tell you, I can guarantee you, I know Stallone is using athletic greens.
Oh yeah,
you know he is. He should be anyway. Everybody's using athletic greens now, and a lot of the audience is using it. And I love it. I'm getting a lot of notice from you guys that you guys have been doing it, trying it, and I finally tried it, and boy, am I glad that I did. I can't even tell you how many times I've seen that, and I keep sending those comments to Athletic Greens and the podcast reps, and they love it. So when you try it, let me know. But let me tell you about it if you don't know it. You're listening on Apple or you're joining us for the first time and you haven't heard. Myself, Brett, the whole damn crew now uses Athletic Greens. Now, I was never a vitamin person. I didn't really like the crazy energy drinks and all that stuff, but for me, I wanted something with the benefits of better gut health, more energy, optimized immune system, and I didn't like taking all that other stuff to get it. And I wanted a supplement that actually tastes good. And I actually wanted to see what the hell Brett was talking about. You got to do it. It tastes good. And it did. He was right. It tastes good. You take 1 scoop of Athletic Greens and you take in 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens, and you help your day start off just right. It's a blend of I also, besides just starting your day with it, like for me, like I can tell you right now when I'm doing right before I do a set, or if I'm going to a screening, that keeps me going and I'm moving. Especially people with kids. If I was up at 5:45 in the morning today, so if I want to stay up a little bit and feel good, Athletic Greens, baby. That's why I consume it, to get myself feeling good. And speaking of sleep, it helps sleep. It helps sleep, and it just knocks you right out. Tastes good, looks like grass, but it's not. Tastes yummy. And I'm going to take it with me. I'm going on vacation soon. I'm going to take a whole bunch with me. Supports mental clarity and alertness, and it costs you less than $3 a day. That's the whole thing. You're investing in your health, and it's cheaper than your cold brew habit. It's cheaper than getting all the different supplements yourself also, and that's what Brett's mom was doing, right? She's loving it, right?
She got rid of all of her. She's like, I don't have to take any of my supplements anymore.
That's all she does.
I'm just doing
one thing. It's got over 7,000 5-star reviews, and probably has more with the people who have been doing it from this show. It's recommended by professional athletes. And right now, once again, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with a convenient daily nutrition. Just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply. Now, this is the best deal, man. This is what a lot of people have been signing up for right away. A free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. So go to athleticgreens.com/bigthing. athleticgreens.com/bigthing. Take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Okay, so again, as I mentioned to you guys, I will have some bigger announcements for the overall with this show and everywhere we're going with this show very, 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 very soon. So people are asking consistently of what they can do to help. Now, not only can you help us by supporting the show by getting Athletic Greens as a sponsor, you help yourself here. And when you do get it, and I want your honest reviews of it also, when you get it, if you like it, then put it in the comments, and I'm going to send it off. You know, and I'll even be honest. And like, here's an honest review of someone too. Someone said, I love the energy that this thing's giving me. It made me poop a lot, like when I first got it. I mean, I pooped a lot. And I wasn't expecting to poop as much as I did. But it made me feel great. I was like, okay, you pooped a lot. But you're feeling good. The point is, did you feel good? And if you guys want to feel good and you feel like you like this stuff, then go and get some and tell me when you get it. Even if you sign up today, if you just said, okay, I'm going to try it out. I just signed up. I just got it. Put it in the comment section. I send it right off to the podcast rep like right now. Plus the fact that Athletic Greens goes, holy shit, these people really want the Athletic Greens. All right.
We told you it'd help your digestion.
That's right.
Now you're pooping.
Don't poop. All right, here's the big story. This is the one that we wanted to talk about today. Ben Affleck.
They're just grunting at each other.
Ben Affleck is coming back as Batman. People are going to love it. This is a good story for them to get out right now, especially when you got the Amber Heard side of it. You know, they're not talking about her as much in this movie and how much she's going to be in it. I just think you leave the fucker in the movie. Who cares? She's in it for what, 7 minutes? People who can boo and throw tomatoes at the screen. Who cares? If they want to, and other people can say, "Oh, look, it's her." I just don't think she's got a big enough role for people to care. But the bigger thing is, Affleck returning here. It's going to bring up a lot of questions for me about the overall connected universe that they have, because it seems like they're connecting again with Black Adam and Shazam and all that. But actor Jason Momoa has revealed that his former Justice League co-star Ben Affleck will make an appearance. Okay, so it's no longer a rumor. It's confirmed here. Co-star Ben Affleck will make an appearance in James Wan's upcoming DC superhero feature, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. It's a smart move by Momoa, getting this in the news cycle. Announced on his Instagram page, Momoa posted a picture of himself and Affleck on the set, along with a video of the pair's reunion. Oh, excuse me, set of the sequel, along with a video of the pair's reunion being caught by some of the public during a WB tour. He captured it, "Reunited Bruce and author, love you and miss you, Ben. WB studio tours just explored the backlot. All right." What did he say? I don't know what this is. Busted on all set. Great things coming. Aquaman 2. I don't know what the hell is going on. Juan directs from a script written by David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick, with Momoa himself co-wrote the story treatment. Affleck joins a cast that includes Patrick Wilson, Amber Heard, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Dolph Lundgren. Oh, nice. Okay, there you go. Tamara Morrison and Philou Asbeck. Aquaman and Lost Kingdom is set March 17th, 2023. Okay. Smart move to announce this. I know that they probably, could have done like a little surprise. There he is, and get people, but announce it. People love him as Batman.
Yeah.
And now with the fact that they missed, with Cavill not being able to show up, whether I still think he shows up in Black Adam. I don't think there's. Have you heard it all? Have you heard?
Yeah, and or do you think it's going to be end credits kind of a thing, or do you think he shows up in the actual film?
End credits probably to announce, to let people lose their freaking minds, and he shows up. The reason why is because, so I think that it's his former wife and producing partner, The Rock's, is also, I think that they have the same PR, or man, I can't remember what the hell it is. But either way, they're friends. They're good friends. And Rocky was asked after that panel about Henry Cavill, and Rock was raving about him, talking about how good of a Superman he was, and probably one of the best Supermen of all time. And he's like, and he pretty much kept saying, the way that he kept hinting at it, The Rock is very in tune with what the hell is going on in the social world. He's not like, oh, people are talking about Henry Cavill maybe being really? He knows. And he knows how to market, he knows how to push, he knows how to tease. So I think it's it's too coincidental. And I also think that he knows if he didn't want to hurt his movie, he would go and look, I'd love to see Henry Cavill. He's not going to be in our movie. He's not going to be involved in anything that we're doing right now. But he's not saying that. He's kind of like, giving you the wink.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's possible that that's all going to go down. But as far as Ben Affleck goes, you announced this, and now you got a lot of goodwill, because that movie, like, as I said in the intro to that story, there's going to be a lot of people who don't want to see Amber Heard in that movie, right? There's going to be a lot of people who are going to get upset about it, and you'll see boycotts, and you'll see things, but it won't have much of an impact, because they're going to put her in, 7 to 8 minutes tops? Maybe 15? Maybe. It's not like The Flash, where
that's a whole...
Ezra Miller's in the whole damn movie.
Yeah.
So that's a harder one for them to figure out. And plus, we don't even know what's going on with that whole situation. That whole situation is just so unclear that who knows what's going on with that. But with this one, it's like, okay. The other thing is, at the time, you know how it goes with social media. People are talking about one particular story right now, and then tomorrow they're talking about something else. Now, we're still in the kind of trail end of that trial. And it'll always, anytime she shows up, it'll always come up, but it's not in that heat of everybody talking about it like it was. So
because there was speculation before. Now, I mean, the trial has ended.
Trial's
before
over.
It was like, I'm not sure who to, So
yeah,
now
but
it's
but even when it's over, though, because he wins that trial, so everybody, of course, is going, how could you possibly support this woman? And a lot of people, there will be a lot of people that still feel that way going into it, for sure. But there is heat that comes off of a story as it's still in the cycle, as opposed to when it's not in the cycle. And when it's not in the cycle, Warner Brothers could be like, okay, there are going to be some people that are going to be upset, but we don't mention the fact that she's in it. We just put the fucking thing out. We have her. We do whatever. let's release that Ben Affleck's in this fucking thing. Let's get people talking about Ben Affleck in it, and then they're going to be talking about that. And then they're talking about Ben Affleck in it. Now, I'm not telling you that's going to make you magically disappear. If you have a strong feeling about Amber Heard being, you're not going to change your feeling because Ben Affleck's in it. But I think that people are going to be more like, oh, if you really don't like the fact that she's in it, you're going to look and you're going to go, I don't want to be watching her right now. I don't want to watch. Oh, there's Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
You know, and other people might just be like, no, I don't want to watch it because of her. Their choice, understood. Again, much harder to do with the Flash. Much harder to do with the Flash. But I think this is smart by Momoa coming in there, releasing it, probably coordinated it with Warner Brothers to say, and James Wan, obviously, let's just announce that this guy's in it. They're going to start talking about it more. And it's a way for them to start talking about Aquaman again because there was no presence for Aquaman whatsoever. Now, what they could have done is release Ben Affleck coming out at Comic-Con.
Yeah, that would have been...
Maybe Ben Affleck didn't want to go to Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Maybe Ben Affleck didn't want to do that stuff. I don't know.
He's too busy passing out on that boat with J-Lo.
He's look, married. He just got married again. He's doing his thing, and so let him do his thing.
Correction.
What's it?
Jennifer Affleck.
Jennifer Affleck. Good for her. That people are like, oh, she's calling herself Jennifer Affleck. Now, well, so what?
Yeah, you gonna
just because she's a celebrity?
Wait, who is that?
Right. Butt didn't change.
No,
she's got the same old butt.
Same butt.
Same butt.
Guys,
cut this.
Everybody, come in here.
What's wrong?
Why is everybody upset about this?
Well, she changed her name, sir. She changed her name. You can't call her J-Lo anymore, sir.
Same butt.
Okay. Can I go back to work? Yeah. Okay, good. Same butt, everybody.
That's a note for everyone.
Same butt. Says Batman's butt now.
I didn't see the Batman, and I know everybody love, and I need to see that.
It's long.
How does that? Is that like the Joker?
Yes. So that's why I'm glad you brought that up because that's kind of what I like what DC is doing, even though some people could be confused by it if you don't ask the questions.
Yeah.
I like that they have separate movies. I like that they so with Marvel has made it clear everything that they do, it all lumps in, whether it's the What If series, the animated series, anything that they have, the TV shows now, it all is part of the one thing. DC has a couple of stories like Shazam and Black Adam and Aquaman and all that shit that still kind of combines it. They haven't just scrapped it. Just, okay, we'll make it come in. And The Flash, apparently, if that ever comes out, all combines inside of this shared universe that they have. But it doesn't mean they can't make movies outside of it. The Batman is a separate one. Joker is a separate one. DC League of Super Pets is a separate one, right? So all of that kind of combines into one thing, which I think is really, really, I think, a smart move, and it doesn't kind of pigeonhole you because it doesn't force them to be Marvel. They can say, well, we have the stories that we're telling inside of our shared universe that we want to do, that this is the story inside of that, and then we have our separate movies where Marvel has to connect everything because that's what they do.
Would you say that the Joker and the Batman, like, they're the biggest successes of the DC? Like, the side projects
recently,
have been...
Yeah, I mean, yes, because definitely the Joker, because the Joker made, I think, like $1 billion, of course, and he won the Oscar for it, right? Didn't he won the Oscar too, didn't he?
I thought so.
Two people that won for the same role. So, yeah, I that you'd have to say so because that movie only cost like $20 or $30 million to make or whatever it might be, or maybe a little bit more, maybe 60. But either way, it was nobody. They didn't even they wanted to scrap it, I think, at one point, is what they were saying. Then it turned out to be one of their biggest hits. As far as the Batman goes, I think that was definitely anticipated because it's Batman.
Yeah.
Anytime you put a Batman movie out, but it was a longer movie, but it was received well, definitely received well by the fans. And I, even on a rewatch, there's a lot you like the David Fincher movies though, too, right? So, and I think when you watch it on HBO Max, like my wife was watching it, and to no one's surprise, she bailed on it. But the thing is, the reason she bailed is she's like, oh, I couldn't lock into it. I go, but you weren't trying to pay attention to it. You're trying to watch it at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night without just trying to throw something on. That's not this movie. You've got to invest in this movie. She's like, yeah, I know. Maybe I'll give it another shot and just kind of sit down and watch it because like I wasn't really paying attention. If you don't pay attention to it, the Batman is not one of those movies you can just go, oh, I'm just going to throw it on. You've got
2 hour 40 or something like that.
About 240, 245. But I think pretty good for an HBO Max watch. You know, if you watch it. Did you do any more Boys?
No, I don't know what it is. Well,
don't let it get past you.
You know what it is? it's a good thing. We've been playing like Wii Sports at night,
okay.
and Lonnie's been reading. You know, so like
choosing quality time with your kids.
Yeah. Playing a little Wii frisbee golf.
Fun. That's fun. Yeah, see that's good. We Vivian and I last night started watching Billy Madison.
Nice.
So a couple of the jokes obviously went right over her head. She's 10, but like she was cracking up at the penguin and the beginning too. It's such a stupid movie. I love it so much. It's so stupid. Like it's still, we're like, yeah, she like when the kindergarten teacher is rubbing paste on her face or glue on her face and dancing around. My daughter's like, what is she weirdo doing? So that was fun to revisit. That was a fun one.
That Veronica Bond. Is that what?
Yeah. One piece of it. And what does he say to him? He goes, That's harassment, brother.
That's harassment, brother.
We haven't gotten to him yet. He just graduated the first grade. There's some stuff that is in that movie that in '94 that you cannot get away with today.
No.
There's certain things that people say, and I'm like, oh, that would not go over today. Like there was a line that one of the kids says to his mother. I won't repeat it, and I actually talked over it a little bit because I didn't want my daughter to hear it at the time.
I do the same thing where you go, "That's a puppy."
Yeah. And I talked over it for a second. She didn't hear it, but I was like, "Yeah, that's not going to go over well today with today's audience." She asked, she's like, "How old is this movie?" I was like, "94 is when that movie came out."
Different times, people.
Way different. It's crazy. Like 20, whatever the hell, 28 years ago.
Yeah. No, that's the thing I saw the other day. Was like, wow. That is to us. When we're the 90s is to the 50s, or 50, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, 50.
60s. 60s to the 90s is what we are.
Breakfast at Tiffany's. I remember being a kid and thinking about those 50s and 60s movies.
Oh yeah,
and going, come on, this is like ancient. And it's like
Tiffany's.
It's like 90s movies. So like even when I used to watch, so even if you look at a movie like, let's say, what's 50 years old, right? Or even Star Wars is now 1977 is 40 some odd years old. When you're in the 80s watching, but that's like watching, one of those movies from like the 40s. Oh,
the 80s. Why is it that the 80s movies were worse than any? I think that was the worst as far as like politically incorrect,
everything.
Like just everything.
Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh God!
I mean everything. There's stuff there's so many
Zapped.
things.
Remember that one with
Adventures in Babysitting, dude.
Oh.
Like Adventures in Babysitting, the beginning of it alone, some of the stuff that there'd be a Twitter explosion in some of the stuff that's said in the beginning. Adventures in Babysitting, and I was just like, oh my God, if anybody did that in a movie, some of the stuff was hilarious, but like if anybody said anything like that, they would be like, how could they write something like this? And blah 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 blah. And it's like, I mean, that movie is and that's Adventures in Babysitting. You wouldn't even, but it's an '80s movie. The '80s, there was no, I mean,
the most gratuitous.
The '80s created political correctness.
Oh yeah, it's the most gratuitous boob shots of any '80s, all
everywhere.
Over the place. It was just like, where can we slip in some boobs in this?
You know when really started like the first awareness from me of political correctness and of like, no, we're not doing this anymore, was Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh,
Andrew Dice Clay was like the last like 1980s kind of
shock comedian,
but he was selling out Madison Square Garden, dude. And he was selling out places left and right. He was the biggest he was the biggest comedian. He was a rock star comedian at the time. Like, and the stuff that he was saying was, you don't get more politically incorrect than Andrew Dice Clay.
Just misogynistic.
But he was playing a character. Yeah, it doesn't matter. The stuff that he was saying was like, it was very similar to like what. The stuff that Eminem gets away with, because he's a character.
Oh yeah,
stuff that he said. You listen to some of the lyrics and stuff too, like, but way more so. And he certainly was not. He certainly had a lot of controversy when he blew up. But Dice, I remember this, and I talked about this recently with Ford Fairlane. Was I talking about this with you?
I don't think so. No.
So Ford Fairlane. So when I was a kid, Dice was the biggest thing ever. I went to see him in Rockville Center, not Rockville Center, Rockville. Not Rockville Center. That's Long Island. Oh my God, what am I thinking of? Where the holy shit. I can't even get my anywhere in the city. And I went there, and people are going to say, you went to here. And we went to see him at I can't remember when it was. I was like in high school, but he was sold out. He had done all this stuff, but where he really started to go downhill was Saturday Night Live. He had said something, and MTV. It said something on MTV that got him banned from MTV, like cursed on MTV. But Nora Dunn at the time made a big stance about him and quit Saturday Night Live. Quit.
Dang.
Quit. And then there was this big controversy with him and all that. And then all these groups started coming after him. It was like the first kind of cancellation thing that I remember.
Yeah.
All these groups started coming after him, and he had Ford Fairlane supposed to come out in the summer, I think, that year. And I remember my buddy Dante and I wanted to go see it, and we couldn't find it anywhere because they had pulled back it was supposed to be this big wide release movie, and they pulled it all back, and they said, we're not releasing it. And there's this place called the Quartet, which is the only place that we found, and we snuck in there and we saw it. But there was nobody in the theater. It was like the movie bombed. I thought it was hilarious. Again, I was super young when I saw it, but yeah, that was the first. And I remember him being on like Arsenio Hall. I'm gonna see if I can find the clip of him. Andrew Dice Clay.
I just remembered doing his bits and stuff, but I'm too young to even be saying this.
Arsenio Hall.
Show to go.
Show to go. That's it. But yeah. Let's see. This is him on
The movie that we're going to talk about called The Adventures of Ford Fairlane. We're going to talk about everything tonight. This is Andrew Dice Clay. Ladies over there.
People do what they have to do, and, I mean, Nora Dunce did what she had to do.
I'm sorry, how's that last name pronounced?
Dunce, D-U-N-C-E. But that, it's all nonsense. I'm a great comedian, and obviously there are women that enjoy this kind of humor.
Back when you could smoke cigarettes
and all right, don't get crazy. I didn't make my decision yet.
Does it bother you, like when you drive down to Sunset and see something on your poster that it's been defaced?
As long as they don't touch the face. Some people like my jokes, some don't. I mean, that's all dependent upon one's personal taste.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I was at, When you say the word taste, people go crazy,
Look at the way I dress, they can tell.
I was at a press conference this morning for the MTV Awards. I was there with Aerosmith and MC Hammer, and there were a lot of issues to be discussed, but the first thing the press asked me was, will Andrew Dice Clay be at the MTV Awards?
Well, it depends what they pay.
This is before you got kicked off.
Sure, if they want me there, I'll be there,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty busy now, you know that.
But you'd like to come?
Yeah, sure, why not?
He wanted to perform in one of Donald Trump's venues, and there were some problems.
No problem. I don't know what you heard, but Donald, we're very close friends, me and Donald. And, I meet those kind of people now, and what happened, he wanted me to come to his birthday party, and I couldn't be there, so I just sent the videotape, and it was the hit of the party. No, that's the truth. I heard something, else backstage, but that's the truth.
Yeah, what I was told was that he didn't want you performing in any of his places.
Hey, let me tell you something about Donald and me. He fixed my sister's roof a few weeks ago because it was leaking. No bull. He's a great guy. No matter what they say, I see him on the cover. They rip him apart. Donald Trump is here to stay. He's a great guy.
So weird.
And whenever somebody's on top, they look to knock him down. Mm-hmm. That's the way it is.
That's crazy. This is 1990 or something.
I've seen your act many times, and often I even watch, and I get a little uncomfortable. I saw you do a joke one night that I thought was a racist joke, and I'm wondering, do you ever have second thoughts about racist humor, for instance? Say, for instance, if you were in a club and some guy did an anti-Semitic joke.
Been done.
And how did you feel when it was done?
It's a joke. Let me tell you something. The kind of stuff I do, the reason I could pick on people from other countries, that kind of stuff, is because years ago, you know, you had like the Polish joke, you know, where you had two Jews walk into a bar, that kind of stuff. But over the last, let's say, 10 years, there's been such an influx of people from other countries, and the reason that is because this country is the greatest country in the world, and we let everybody come here, and we give everybody opportunity. No, let me finish. We give everybody opportunity, and because of that, that gives me more comedic material. I mean, I look at it this way. You go into Manhattan, some places like Manhattan, whether it's about a couple in the front. The only this world that we're made up of this stuff. Everybody else does. I just shook his hand in friendship, and I shook his hand, you know?
I can't remember what it is. I'm trying to, he does, there's one where he like, it's within that, but he gets real upset and like starts crying, but it's still
Really?
it's I think it's in there. I think it's during that speech he starts to break down a little bit, but he was going through a lot, and then at MTV, I think that's before, and then what happens after that is he does MTV Movie Awards curses, and then he's banned for life from MTV, and he never does it ever again. That's like the first time I remember someone like that whole thing, like what before that I don't really remember. Like you in the 80s, you could do whatever the hell you wanted to. It's crazy.
Yeah, Kinnison. Like
Kinnison, but Kinnison was different, even though, because I don't know, Kinnison was, I think that if you look, Kinnison was really, not that Dice was a much better comedian than people give him credit for. When I mean by that is obviously the rock star stuff that he did and how big he was. That's a given. But I've seen him do stuff that's not the rhymes,
the character, yeah.
Well, but he's always in characters. Kind of a part of it is who he is. But I've seen him at the Comedy Store many times over, just doing regular material, and he's fucking hilarious, really funny. But he relies on a lot of the other, the sex humor and that other thing because that's his brand. But I've seen him just do stuff, dude, like 45 minutes of stuff at the Comedy Store original room, and just slay.
Yeah,
just slay. Kinnison was a very different type of comic. Also, like
but I'm just saying in terms of he said some edgy shit. I mean,
for sure. The thing about the starving, what did he say? What did he? It was funny. I saw it recently. He said about world hunger. He's like, why don't you stop sending all the? What I would do is I'd tell we're sending all this money to people who are hungry, and my question is why? Don't send them anything. Send them moving vans. He's like, we're going to send you vans so you move where the fucking food is. He starts screaming.
This is sand. You can't grow anything in sand.
Right. But he did it in a way. But again, it goes back to the old George Carlin thing. Anything can be funny, but not anyone can make it funny.
Exactly.
That's the whole thing. It's like, and it's not an easy trick. Like, you can try to do that Sam Kinison thing, but you don't have the kind of voice that he does. There's certain things that your delivery of things that you say I can't say and get away with or make it funny, right? But you have a certain way to do it that your personality brings out, and that's why it becomes funny. The same thing like with, with a lot of these different people, there's a lot of stuff, even the way like with Sebastian, you can say something like come on, why are you doing that? That's ridiculous, and it's not funny. What are you doing? It's ridiculous. Stop it. Just that alone, the way that he does it and his look and he's like his frustration. It's not. His jokes are very funny too, but it's the way that he's moving his body and saying, "What?" and you're like, "That's it's." There's parts to it that add into all of it. It's the mechanics of it all. But that's what Sam did also. So Sam Kinison did great.
I think the stand-up comedy world. I think the people are like, oh, cancel culture, but I think it's still edgy as hell. The stuff I see.
Yeah, but it's harder. It's harder.
It?
Yeah, it's harder. Like there's things that you can like, as even in that clip from 1990, which he still was getting. It's like where Arsenio said to him, "Well, what if you tell that joke and someone gets offended?" And it's like it's a joke. Like and Bill Hicks said it on Stern. He's just like, "Do you know how many things that I'm offended by every day?
Yeah,
but I don't talk. I just move on to the next thing." And it's like now, and that's before social media. Now the thing is, if you see somebody in the club that you don't like and says something you don't like, and that 95% of people thought were funny, but you thought it was too racy, you thought it was insensitive, you can tweet about it, and if it catches fire, then that person is in trouble.
Yeah.
That's the kind of shit that I don't like. Now, there's other stuff there's other stuff that that people should be like. There's certain things that people say, and it's just like it's not like George Carlin said. You better make it funny, and I think you got to catch into the majority too, because when a majority, and it's weird though too how that works, but when a majority is looking at it and going, okay, majority of people who've seen this think it's funny, and there's people who are gonna, no matter what you're gonna say, people are gonna be pissed off, no matter what your jokes are. People are you're gonna piss off somebody if you're crossing that line just a little bit. That's why I think Bill Burr, what he does, he doesn't give a shit. Bill Burr doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. What was it? He was on Conan or something like that, and Conan says that you just piss off both sides. You like, he doesn't give a shit.
He doesn't give a shit. He just does what he does.
He's gained that throughout years. Like,
of course, yes, that's exactly because he's not doing it to just be edgy. That's who he is.
It's exactly,
That's who he is, and he's just like, you're gonna have that conversation with him with three people having a beer on a patio with no cameras on. He's going to have that same conversation with you, and he's going to bring it up on stage. There's other people who are just going, oh, what can I do to push the limits here? What can I do to piss people off? That's when you get into trouble.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not telling you that Bill Burr doesn't write a joke and going, oh, that's gonna get him. But it's his real thoughts.
Yeah, people.
And that's why he's so good.
There are comedians that love the groan too. Like they like the groan more than the laugh sometimes. Just like to destroy a room.
But also being able to make it funny and going through and do like that's something. I mean, it's Andrew Schultz, who's now really big comedian also now, and he's another one. His stuff is just he's going for you to get pissed off.
Yeah.
And he'll go and they're funny. The stuff that but he's going to a place where he's gonna get you, and he's gonna, like, you get offended, then don't watch my shit. And I think that there's that thing that's just how it works now with social media. Is now, again, if you watched a special on HBO back in the day and you thought someone's offensive, you complain to your friend.
Yeah.
Or you write a letter. Now you pick up, if it's somebody who has 10,000 followers and they get mad and they post a clip of you and then somebody retweets it.
You're done.
Yes and no. Depends on what it is. So
or you blow up and people defend you, and
or you get more clips and you get more people and your eyes are on you now. That person's just giving you free marketing because they're being sensitive. So it's a tricky thing. There's sometimes we're just like, okay, like I didn't talk to you about this. The Steve Martin thing. Did you see this? The King Tut thing? People are trying to go after him for King Tut.
You're shit.
No, they're trying to go after him for King Tut, and it went away really fast.
Yeah,
because you're like, come on, man. He's making fun of tourism. Stop. Like, people were going after him for doing King Tut.
He said buried in his jammies.
That, and they were just, why is he playing this Egyptian? Stop.
Give me a break.
Stop.
Yeah.
It's like, and people, it went away really fast, but that's my point.
Yeah.
Is that the more people found that clip, it's like, cut it out. There's times when it's like, okay, you went back, you found this, you did that, maybe they shouldn't have done it at the time, and then they're like, oops, that was a bad time. Stop this.
Yeah, he wasn't doing like in a modern day Egyptian stereotype or something. He was just
a goofy character on King Tut.
King Tut.
It's like it was the goof on tourism and goof on what it's become, and it was commercialism and all that, and it's like, but that's what I'm saying. Sometimes when people are, and most people felt the way that we do, they're like, cut it out.
Give me a break.
And that's because you can tell if it sticks, then a lot of people really felt it, and then it's and sometimes there's a battle on both sides. Like, no, it's not that bad, it is that bad, and then when it's just like, no, that's just somebody being ridiculous. That's what that was.
Yeah, at
least in my opinion. But anyway, okay, so look, like I said to you guys, we got a lot going on over the next couple weeks. This is Monday's show, so Wednesday's Sith Council will be StreamYard, maybe. I don't know. I might still do in the studio. I don't know yet. Either way, we're going to have shows out next week, and then I'll put up some short-form content. But we're going to have a really busy end of the month, and then September, October, November. Listen to all this stuff that's coming out. August, we start with She-Hulk. I want you to watch all this shit, too, by the way. Because
She-Hulk?
All these shows I'm about to mention you, too. Because weekly, we're going to start talking about this stuff. So we got She-Hulk, which starts in August, I think, like 17th. And then the following week is Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. The following 2 weeks after that is Andor, the Star Wars series. And then the following week after that is Lord of the Rings.
Jesus.
So it's boom, 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 boom. And then that's not to mention you still have Bullet Train coming up that we're going to go see together.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We're seeing that tonight.
Yeah.
Then you got that movie with Idris Elba, Beast. September will be fairly slow for movies, but then in October you got Black Adam.
Wow.
Which is going to be bigger, and then in November, I'm gonna bring up the release schedule again too. I'm gonna go through it with you. I know I've done this a few different times with you guys, but I want to just hammer down the point of how busy we're going to be here over the next year. Like, listen to this. This is just, and I'm talking about movies. This is not streaming. This doesn't include all the Marvel shows that were announced. This doesn't include the Star Wars shows that were announced. It doesn't include, like I said, Lord of the Rings, all these other shows that are going to be coming out. So this is just from movies alone, starting in September 2nd. Apparently, the Spider-Man No Way Home, like the more fun stuff version, which is coming out. Barbarian, I don't know. I just got a screening for that. I don't know what that is. Well, listen to this, bro. So you got this thing, Bros. I don't know what that is. But October, you got Halloween Ends, which is going to be one. Then Black Adam, and that's the big one. And those are the two big ones in October. November, you got Amsterdam, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, which is going to be the biggest movie of maybe the year, but it's definitely of November for sure. I don't know a lot of these other ones. There's some other ones here. She Said, Bad Axe, The Menu, Bones and All, Devotion, Strange Worlds. Tell me in the comments if any of those are supposed to be any good. Violent Night, spoiler alert, The Hero Dies. This is December. Now, December 16th is the big one. Avatar, The Way of Water. And then the following week, December 21st, is Shazam, Fury of the Gods, and Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. So that's just that's the end of this year. So, but now listen to when I get to March of 2023, you guys are going to lose your minds with how it sounds like a summer month. But this is January. Kraven the Hunter is the big one for January 13th. The fact that it's in January makes me nervous, but nonetheless. Harold and the Purple Crayon. Everyone's looking forward to that one. That one's coming out. I don't know what that is. February, this is where it starts to get big, right? You're going to have Ant-Man and the Wasp and The Mandalorian also come out in that same month. So that's going to be February. Now listen to March.
Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, that one, I'm looking forward to that one. March 2023. March 3rd. Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. People are really liking that trailer. That starts it off.
My birthday.
Is it? All right, well, there you go. You go see Dungeons and Dragons. The following week, The Haunted Mansion is pretty big for Disney. And then March 17th is Aquaman and Lost Kingdom. March 24th is John Wick Chapter 4. March 31st is Scream 6 and this untitled George Foreman biopic. And then somewhere inside of that March is Creed 3.
Wow.
That is a hell of a month. And then April, you got Super Mario Brothers is finally coming out. The Last Train to New York, Salem's Lot. And then listen to summer of 2023. May 5th, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. May 19th, Fast 10. May 26th, The Little Mermaid. June 2nd, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. June 9th, Transformers 87, whatever it is. June 16th, Elemental and No Hard Feelings. I don't know. June 23rd, The Flash, maybe. Untitled Sony Marvel movie. June 30th, Indiana Jones 5.
Wow.
July 7th, Insidious 5. July 14th, Mission Impossible. July 21st, Barbie and Oppenheimer. July 28th, The Marvels. August 24th, The Meg 2. August 4th, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. August 11th, Challengers, Gran Turismo, Untitled Disney Live Action. August 18th, Blue Beetle. That's the summer. That's one of the most stacked summers that I've seen in a very, very long time. So we have and that's not including any of the streaming going on.
Yeah.
That's tons of Marvel shows, Star Wars shows, Amazon shows, Netflix shows that we got going on. It's going to be a crazy, crazy 2023. And that's, I think, the shift from the pandemic into, okay, we're back.
Now we can,
Yeah.
People aren't afraid to put stuff out in the theaters anymore.
And all the stuff that was pushed back is starting to push into the forefront. So you're getting, it's like when everybody came over here and was like far and away when they were looking when all the land was like, oh, let's claim the land, and that's what there's going to be so much content out there for people to not only the stuff that we just read, but on YouTube and TikTok and all your creators that you follow in this space are going to have so much to talk about.
There's going to be.
It's not including Comic-Con. It's not including all the trailers that are going to be coming out. It is going to be I think it's the golden age in 2023.
Yeah, and streaming the two epic like Lord of the Rings and
Game of Thrones within weeks of each other.
That's insane.
Andor Andor and She-Hulk are going to start airing on the same day. They'll both be on Fridays, so you'll be getting a She-Hulk and Andor episode like on that Friday, like boom, boom. Like so that's interesting. I don't know why they did that. Disney. I mean, I understand like when Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones are kind of going after each other. That makes sense, but Disney put one on Wednesday and one on Friday.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
It's weird. So, but. Maybe they just got more stuff coming out. Bad Batch is another one that's coming out. There's other shows, and there's shows inside of this thing that we don't. I mean, I don't know if Boys season 4. I don't know when that's coming out. That could be next year sometime. Stranger Things, I don't think is next year. I think it's 2024, the next season of it. But
is that going to be the last? You think? Or
it is. Yeah, it's the last one. And then, but I think there's going to be like spin-offs and stuff after that.
All Barb. Right. What's Barb's?
Which one? Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, Barb. Did you like the final? You like the final season?
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
You got to get back into the boys though, because if you forget what's going on.
No, definitely that's got to start.
You got to start. All right, listen. That was the show. We did it. So we're gonna get into some more stuff. Sith Council on Wednesday. Brett, myself, and Roxy will be back on Thursday, and then Winston, Coy, myself will be back on Friday. So make sure you join us. Get yourself some, once again, some Athletic Greens. Thank you, Athletic Greens. Tell me what you like about it and get us to 70,000. If you're brand new and you haven't subscribed to this, and you're just watching this and you're listening to it, you're like, oh, I like these two idiots. Well, hit that subscribe button. Help us out. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. For Brett Sheridan, I'm me. You're you.